What's up, guys? We're back with another episode. For today's episode, where are we?
We outside.
We outside. In this episode, you might hear the wind blowing, the dogs barking, the birds chirping, but more importantly, two beaners yapping. That's all that matters.
Yes, sir. Hopefully you can hear us. We didn't do a mic check.
We didn't, but we have faith. We trust.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the importance of a pregame routine, and what ways it can help, what that can look like. Maybe we can talk about how that's going to look for us in this upcoming season. At the end, we're going to drop the one thing that you need to have, absolute must, in your pregame routine. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about Barcelona's elimination from Champions League. Do you want to?
And Real Madrid's.
Real Madrid's robbery. Talk to us first about.
Well, if you want to talk about robberies, Barcelona, first leg and second leg were both robberies. A player trips over himself, red card in the second leg. A player kicks a defender, like leaves his foot to make contact with a defender, red card, but guy grabs it inside the box with his hand, no PK given. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't know if you saw the stat of like the amount of fouls Atletico de Madrid had. It was like 32 fouls, 0 cards, like at all, 0 cards. And then Barcelona had 12 fouls, 2 red cards, and 4 yellows.
I think context matters though.
Well, look at the fouls and tell me if none of them were deserving.
So what percentage of Barca being eliminated do you attribute to the referee's decisions?
I don't know if I can say like a percentage, because I mean it's soccer and anything can happen, even if it's 11v11. But it's a PK that wasn't called the first leg, a PK that wasn't called the second leg, that can change if they score, because you can also miss a pen. So you can't just say like, oh, it's a pen, it's automatically a go. No, there's a chance you can miss it. So I mean, but that's 2 possibilities of goal, where that's Barcelona 2 goals up, so, or 1 goal up with 2 goals more in the series.
And at any point, do you start to consider whether it's the referee or patterns within the club and their players where, I don't know, I think it was 2-3 years ago against PSG, I think you guys were winning that tie, and then Araujo gets sent off, and then first leg against Atleti gets sent off, and there are very similar ways. Like, do you think each time it's been the referee's fault, or do you think there's some accountability to be held for the players?
I mean, the only thing I would say, like, for the players now is, like, these referees are dog shit, so, like, don't get nowhere near. Like, I'd rather just concede the goal than be a man down. But even then, like, it's not, because, like, did you see Eddie Garcia's red card?
Yeah.
Okay. It was very similar to Barcola's and Araujo's 2-3 years prior, the one you're mentioning, where it's slight contact, but soccer has always been a contact sport. So I don't know at what point we went from contact sport to, like, any contact outside of the box is a red card.
I don't know if it's any contact.
Because Jules Koundé was like 3 yards away. And you can see in the video, like, as soon as he falls, like, Jules Koundé's already there. So, because you're saying context of it, like, that's also context that the referee has to take according.
I think he did take into consideration, like, oh, it's Koundé, he's not defending, that's a clear.
Still, he's a body in the way.
Bro, you're mad. Imagine how I feel.
Imagine every time my team plays against yours, that's how I feel.
Okay, whatever. All right, going to today's topic, since we can't have a objective conversation.
You told me about your team.
No, I mean, what is there to say? It was beautiful football.
What was a robbery?
I'm not saying it was a robbery. I just do think that in the Champions League quarterfinal, when you have 2 of the biggest European teams going head-to-head, the score is 3-2. What was it, 5-5 aggregate, I believe? something along those lines. And you're 5 minutes away from going to extra time. You're gonna get 30 more minutes of spectacular football. And for the youngins, what Camavinga did isn't right. You commit a foul, just go back to your position, leave the ball, whatever. But let's not be hypocritical and act like we've never gotten the ball, taken a few steps, and then give it back just to give your team some time. Hold up, I'm talking. Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
You don't get, and you can see it if you watch the replay. The referee gets his panties in a bunch, like, no, you're not gonna do that. He gets a yellow card, and then Kimmich and Harry Kane start pressing him like, hey, he already has a yellow, and you can see where he realizes he fucks up. It's like, ah, shit, now I gotta send this guy off.
Yeah, I can't send a teammate off.
Champions League. Yeah, sorry, quarterfinals, Champions League. You do not give a second yellow for that. It's as simple as that. Let's move on. As a soccer player growing up, did you ever have a pre-game routine?
I did not. I was, not that I was against them, but I was brought up to think like superstitions or routines were like non-existent, but that I'm just an overthinker. So
you think so?
That's what I was brought up to believe.
I mean, from my parents?
Yeah.
I feel like we grew up with a lot of structure and...
Yeah, but like not necessarily. I mean, it's because when you say routine as a soccer player, I think of like superstitions of like putting one shoe on before another, and, which I kind of did that, but like subconsciously, because I'm left-footed, so I always like tend to favor my left foot. It wasn't like, oh, I need to put on my left shoe first because I'm gonna play better. But then I would start overthinking it, and it's like, oh shit, I put my right shoe on first. Like, what if I don't? So that's exactly why I didn't have routines, because I tend to forget stuff. And if I forget my routine, or if I forget a part of my routine, I'm gonna overthink and think I'm gonna have the worst game ever.
But what about routines like, at a certain time, I like to do this, at a certain time, I like to have breakfast? Anything along those lines?
I mean, somewhat. In Charlotte, when I was playing in Charlotte, all the home games, the day before home game, I'd go eat hibachi.
And shit yourself right after?
No. Oh yeah, right after eating, yes. But because I was also brought up to believe that the day before you gave me a shit ton of carbs. So
fake news.
So fried rice, a little bit of steak and shrimp.
And tons of canola oil.
No.
Bro, when
it's butter.
That's not butter, son. I hate to break it to you.
No, when they scoop it and they say ice cream, no, that's butter. That's not ice cream, just so you know.
When they're cleaning the grill, not cleaning it, but like lubricating it, I guess.
It's extra virgin olive oil.
Straight from the source.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, but yeah, that's a routine. The night before a game, you like to do...
Oh, and then, don't interrupt me.
Mama.
I'm kidding. I would forget what I'd have for breakfast, probably eggs and tortilla or something.
Beaner.
Yeah, beaner alert. And my pre-game meal for home days, most of the time was salmon with a bunch of spinach, a spinach salad with like dressing that my mom would make, like soy sauce or whatever, and a bunch of olive oil and all that. Well, pause.
You do you, bro. Alright, good. Don't make it worse.
That and and pasta. So greens, carbs, and a little bit of protein.
So we're speaking about the importance of this now that we've gone through multiple experiences, but back when we were playing, there wasn't much talk on this specific topic. And I think the importance of it is having a routine or a practice where you can get yourself in an optimal mental state. Sometimes we've experienced it where you go into a game and mentally maybe you're distracted, maybe you're not sharp, you're not focused, you're feeling lethargic. And that's the importance of a pregame routine. You can have all the technique in the world, all the skill, all the physical capabilities, but if you're distracted, if you're not in it mentally, we've seen it, we've experienced it where it takes you a while to get going, and that time you can already be down 1-0, or you seem like mentally you're not there.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of having something beforehand. You don't want to show up to the game and get ready during the game.
Yeah.
You want to take your practices, your routines, so when the whistle starts, you're already ready to go. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I agree. Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, more than anything, I'd like to have a routine like in the locker room before the game. Like, I don't know, like something to get my like fast twitch muscles going or something. I don't know. Or my hand-eye coordination.
Last time we talked about this between us, you were saying how there were some games where you felt like slower.
Yeah. I don't know if it was like an adrenaline thing or what it is or what it was, but like some games I feel like my muscles were like still, you know, like if you were to like go for a sprint right now, like how your legs would feel, that's how I would feel like during games. Like it take me a while to get going or like to feel like my muscles activated.
And do you feel like your warm-up wasn't optimal, or do you feel like you were under-recovered? Nervous, maybe?
I think more than anything it's like either nervous or like just like a psychological thing.
Okay.
Or like being too self-aware, like, oh shit, am I ready to go? Like, oh, this doesn't feel right, or like, oh, this feels right, this doesn't, blah blah blah. Like my calves feel good but my hamstrings don't, so am I gonna pull a hammy today? Or like, I think more than anything it was that.
I think that's a really important part of having things beforehand that get you into this calm, ideally flow state where you can handle nerves.
Yeah.
Or handle all the emotions that go into playing. And people handle them differently, people feel different things, but for the most part, there's going to be some level of excitement, of nerves, and I feel like if you don't channel that, if you don't know how to handle it properly, it happened to me a lot where I would listen to music before the game that would really hype me up a couple hours before, and just like be super hyped, pumped, have this adrenaline rush way too early before the game, and then the game comes and you have like this energy crush just because naturally you can't be running on high all game long. There's other times where you don't know how to handle those emotions, and you're extremely nervous, you start becoming too anxious, too jittery, you make mistakes. So it's just really being able to acknowledge those emotions and do things that make you feel at peace, make you feel calm, so you're in a more relaxed state. At least that's how I view it.
No, I agree. I honestly, like, for example, especially playing professional, I would rather know if I was starting like the day before the game or the day of the game rather than knowing like a week in advance, because there's times where I would know a week in advance and I was like just all week like just already, which is kind of good in a way of like visualizing the scenarios and the game and all that, but like it's a long time till game time, so it's a little bit too long.
I mean, I feel like you can make an argument for both sides, because yes, there's the opportunity to overthink it if that's what you tend to do.
Yes.
But also, the week leading up to the game, when you are practicing with the starters and then maybe you get moved to bench or whatever, and we've experienced it where you do 11v11s in practice, and then you might start off with the starters and then midway you get with the bench players or the second squad. And there's also a certain anxiety and stress about not knowing, or am I going to start this game, am I going to go on the bench?
Yeah.
And so you can make a case for either side. The point being, there's going to be nerves, whatever side you're on. It's really more dealing with it and handling and channeling in the best way possible. I remember a playoff game in PDO with Laredo Heat. It was a big game, it was a semifinal, and for whatever reason, my objective that game was not to feel nervous. I told myself I'm not gonna be nervous. If nerves come up, I'm just gonna ignore them. I'm not gonna feel nervous. That was my main objective. And we start the game within the first 5 minutes. I was saying like the first 4 passes that I gave, since I wasn't nervous, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do things. I messed them up. We almost got scored on once. I initiated 3 counterattacks against us. So it's not about, I learned that day, it's not about not being nervous. It's about knowing how to channel your emotions in a positive way and being able to perform.
I agree.
So for the season, do you have anything in mind that you want to incorporate? Maybe the day before a game or the day of a game, just any type of routine that you can think of that you think will help you get into a mental state where you're clear, you're calm, and you're ready to go, like right now that
I can play a full 90 right now. Yes, but it's also like a thing I want to do in general. I want to start waking up at sunrise again, sleeping earlier. So like, especially like the day before a game, I want to sleep early, wake up at sunrise, and then see how my body's feeling from there. Like I said, I like to do something like, whether it's in the locker room or before warm-ups or whatever, to like kind of get me activated and get me going before like team activation.
What does that look like for you?
I don't know, I have no fucking clue.
Do you think some like maybe mobility, some plyometrics without it being too intense?
I think plyometrics would work best because like I've done mobility at times depending how I'm feeling. But I would say like a little bit more of plyometrics or like, I don't know, not lymphatic hops, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, just some type of activation.
Yeah.
And I think you can become very strategic with it, but you're touching on something that's very important, which is individualization. I've heard Piqué talk about in
your
different...
favorite player?
No, least favorite. Talking about videos, for example, the World Cup final that they played. Some players couldn't sleep and they were just talking about the game the whole day prior. And for example, he's someone that performs better when he's not thinking about the game.
Yeah.
So he was talking about, I took a nap, I was playing video games, and the less I can think about the game, the better I can perform. And each person's different. For me, I like to plan ahead, I like to visualize how I want the game to go, and I just enjoy thinking about the game prior. There's other people that want to maybe not be thinking about the game the whole day. That's draining for them or whatever reason may be for them. But the point is, you should know yourself, your personality, and if you like thinking about the game, planning ahead, then make that part of your pre-game routine. If you don't, then we have one specific client who is very creative, very artistic, and he performs best when he's in a calm state, just relaxed. So for him, playing the guitar before a game, doing something creative works best for him. There's other players that might want to do something physical just to get some of those nerves.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that you can do. Going back and asking you, with your personality, do you think some things that help you feel calm, relaxed, and focused?
Do I think what?
There's things that you can implement. My bad.
No, you're good. I don't know, playing a bit of like two-touch in the locker room or something like that. I like, for example, I remember when I was playing professional, especially at Toros, I wouldn't want to hop in the two-touch like before the game, because like some of the guys there were way too technical. So like two-touch was like our two-touch games look like a UNICEF game compared to the way they play it. So that's why I was like, you know, my confidence is gonna go down after this if I try to play, or my neck is gonna be bruised as soon as we walk into the field. But like something like that, like either like just like not necessarily two touch, but like keeping it up with someone, like just relaxed in a way, like more for like shits and giggles.
Yeah, I like that. And I feel like that can also help with hand-eye coordination. So prior to the game, you're already activating
Yeah.
those parts of your performance. So again, the importance of having a pregame routine is getting into the game already ready to go. Your energy is high, your focus is high, your mental clarity is ready to go. This can apply to anything. If you have a presentation at work, you're not gonna just wing it. You know, you want to have some preparation beforehand. And I think as players, it's easy to confuse the week of training, the week of training as preparation, which yes, you're preparing technically and tactically, but more than anything, this is more of a individual practice to get your mental state to be able to perform and feel physically sharp, fast, and energetic.
I agree. Yeah, and even sometimes like the week, like training the week leading up to it is, sometimes it's like a bi-weekly game, so you in reality you only have like, you have the day after the game to recover for the guys that started, and then the next day's training, and then it's playing again, so it's not always the case, but something to get you in that mindset to get ready to compete more than anything, I'd say.
And it doesn't have to be a perfect routine where I have to do X, Y, Z exactly, or else I'm screwed. Especially nowadays when I see so many videos of like the perfect morning routine and the perfect evening routine, and you have to go like through 20 steps to get into optimal state. More than anything, it's just incorporating certain principles or practices that get you in the right state to perform at the highest level. I think some things that are important to just touch on is like nutrition. Obviously, first and foremost, you want to, well, not first and foremost, but a big part, you want to make sure you have the fuel to perform. An activity that helps you focus, that helps you stay calm and channel your emotions in a positive way, whether that's music, whether that's journaling, whether that's juggling, whether that's maybe playing cards, having a conversation, what it is for you that helps you get into that state. But I think as long as you have those two things, you can play around and incorporate anything you want, really.
Yeah, I agree.
So if we're talking about getting ourselves into the best mental state and having energy, having focus, having clarity, the most important thing that you need to incorporate is sunlight. And this is something that I'll harp on my whole life. Yes, the practices, the routines are gonna keep you focused, are gonna keep you calm, but biologically speaking, if we wanna get into that state and optimize that state, our biology responds to light and the signals that we give it. So starting your day off by getting sunlight is gonna signal to your brain that it's daytime, and that is gonna cause your body to produce this hormonal and metabolic cascade, which is gonna initiate your energy production, which is gonna give you mental focus, clarity, and drive. On the contrary, you can have the best pregame routine where you're doing all these activities, but if biologically you're not giving your body the right signals, you're gonna either avoid or significantly reduce that energy production, that mental focus, that mental clarity. As you can see, I already lost my brother speaking about this.
Sending you the address to your haircut appointment.
Appreciate that.
Shit.
But from your perspective, that you don't really practice that all that much, can you
The fuck you want?
commit to, I mean, you already talked about it, but when you have done it, what have you felt? Just
more energy throughout the day. I don't know if mental clarity, but like I wake up in a better mood for the most part. When I don't rest properly, or when I feel sleep deprived, I tend to wake up moody. But once I can get like my sleep and my like waking up at a certain time, that kind of goes away sometimes, unless you try to test my patience. What else? I tan better. Yeah, my tan gets nicer.
Relating to performance though, for young athletes or just athletes in general, the bottom line is getting the right signal through sunlight in the morning is going to signal to your brain that it's daytime, and that's going to start this process of energy production, of metabolic reactions,
Hormone production,
Shit. Neurotransmitters, and all this is going to relate to more energy, better reaction time, better coordination, better or more focus and more clarity.
Better.
If you can do this and get yourself into this optimal state, just think about all the athletes that wake up and send the wrong signal or an artificial signal, which might confuse the brain, might mess up your hormone production, by getting artificial light through your phone, through your TV, by staying indoors and not getting that beautiful light into your eyes. Big thing is you want to get this light unfiltered, so no glasses, no contacts,
no windows. Actually go outside.
Actually
get your
go outside.
Yes, outside.
The important thing is getting sunlight in your eyes and on your skin.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you have to look directly at the sun, but just being outside is gonna boost your energy, give you better mental focus, mental clarity. It's gonna improve your reaction, your coordination. So
let's do a challenge. Whoever can stare at the sun the longest wins. Comment your times down below.
And if we want to get technical, just in case someone has any interest of understanding, it's not woo-woo, it's not like, oh yeah, just go outside and it's going to do all these things for you. What happens, and I love talking about this, I'm just going to spend 2-3 minutes and then we'll move on.
Well, hopefully.
You can summarize. Okay, so basically,
the hippopotamus. He's going to talk about the hippopotamus.
There's specialized cells in the retina, so in your eye. That's why it's important to not use sunglasses, not use contacts. In our retina, we have these cells called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells.
I don't know, you just made that shit up.
Which are good, or they're designed to detect light, especially blue light, which is very present at sunrise. So when your cells in your eyes get the signal from the sun that it's morning, they get that signal and pass it to the hypothalamus, which is this region in your brain that is basically the command center. It communicates to every system in your body, and within the hypothalamus there's a suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is your body's main timekeeper. So think about your organs having these peripheral clocks, your cells having these clocks to know when to do what. The suprachiasmatic nucleus is the main timekeeper that communicates to all the other clocks. Why are you laughing?
Fucking Jimmy Neutron or what?
Does that make sense though?
Yeah.
Kinda, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the cells in your eyes get a signal from light and they signal to your brain that it's daytime. From there, your brain is gonna initiate all these processes that are gonna boost your energy, they're gonna boost your hormones and your neurotransmitters. You good there, bud?
Yes.
This is what happens when we talk about anything serious. This boy does not know how to act.
No, my pinky toe got stuck and I fell.
This is what happens when he disengages, when you get too smart for him.
I'm sorry.
So that's the process.
Nice.
The first step is that this blue light is going to signal for a cortisol release, which is going to wake you up. That cortisol is important because it mobilizes glucose and fatty acids, which is going to start our energy production and allow us to get that energy process started, and it's also going to increase mitochondrial activity, which is super important. We'll go more into detail in another topic. The second thing is that morning light, specifically UVA light, is going to convert amino acids into neurotransmitters. I think it's like tryptophan and tyrosine, which are amino acids, get converted into dopamine, serotonin.
Melatonin. Oh no, not melatonin.
No, that's at night. Norepinephrine. All you need to know is that
Fentanyl.
these neurotransmitters are going to boost your coordination, your mental focus, your mental clarity, reaction time. So all this to say, when you get outside during sunrise, all these things are naturally going to happen. If you stay indoors, if you're on your phone doom scrolling, your brain is not going to get that signal. So all this process of energy and metabolic and hormonal responses are not going to happen, putting you mentally and physically at a much lower level, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Can you summarize, please?
Yes, the supercalifragilistic combines with the hypothalamus, and yeah, basically you look at the sun.
You don't have to look directly as long as
Well, but
outside.
when it's rising,
Again, you don't have to look at it directly.
Okay, don't look at it directly. Just look at it like 2 feet underneath. But it's gonna send signals to your brain like, "Hey, wake up!" And then your body's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like our ancestors used to do. And then you become primal. You're gonna start eating raw beef, liver, chicken. I mean, no, not liver, chicken. Livers, hearts, and organ meats, and your pee-pee's gonna start functioning again.
We're gonna get bigger too, right?
Yeah. Look.
Well, anyways, that's a summary. We'll build more on what an ideal pre-game routine can look for different individuals, but it starts with getting your biology, getting your hormones, getting your metabolism and your energy at an optimal state. So as much as we talk about, you can eat this, you can journal, you can listen to music, whatever it is, it all comes after we get our biology in the most optimal state. So main key,
Sorry.
I hope the mic got that.
I'm sorry, I hope it didn't.
The main takeaway from this is start your day, not just for games, but any day. Start your day by getting outside, signaling to your brain that it's daytime, and your body will do the rest.
Yeah.
Any words you want to wrap up with?
Words of wisdom or words of just words?
Whatever you want. I need to leave. So.
Retinal. Or retina.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
We're gonna try to record more outside. We'll see how the audio sounds, but
Hopefully not, because this is too early.
leave your feedback for our 5 viewers, my grandma, our parents, and
And a tia. Or 2.
no, but seriously, thank y'all for watching. Hopefully this is of value to you guys. We appreciate and love y'all.